Howdy y'all.
Hi guys.
It's Ryan
And Angela.
from RNA Music.
That's right.
Your favorite mom and pop guitar shop music lesson studio deep in the heart of Texas. That's where we're at right now. I forgot to figure out what episode this is.
Yes, I don't know.
It's episode something or another
One of those episodes.
of Ask RNA, squeaky chairs. And we're going to answer questions
Yay.
about stuff and things.
Okay.
So excited. Let's get to it. All right, welcome back to episode something or another of Ask RNA 300, 200, I don't know. What was it?
344.
397. No, it's in the 340s. Anyways, it's an episode of Angela and I answering questions. So excited. If you're new here, we have a little guitar shop and music lesson studio in a small town in Texas. Greatest state in the United States.
No, what we should do
What?
is have the secret hashtag be the episode number, and then they'll hashtag it on here, and then you'll know.
That would be great. That's a very smart. You're very smart. We should do that. We should do the things.
I use that sometimes.
We should do the things that you say because that's
Yes.
very, very smart.
Yes.
And we shoot YouTube videos of all kinds, mostly this, answering questions, but I'm working on more kinds of YouTube videos, like we did in the olden days.
Olden days. Like
12 years ago
a
of
long
RNA
time
music.
ago, when the galaxy was born.
Anyway, so if you're new here, please consider subscribing, hit that thumbs up stuff, because you're going to like it preemptively before you even watch it. You know you're going to like it, so just go ahead and do that. All of our regular viewers, if you guys want to go ahead and thumbs it up and get your comment fingers ready to comment and ask questions. Get ready for a flurry of syllables.
Yes.
Get that ready. If you want some swaggity swag, you can't get this shirt. This is one of my custom ones from a long time ago. Sorry.
Yeah.
Embroidered with our logo.
Got a little paint.
I do.
Oh no, it's not paint.
What is it? Poop?
No, it's
Bird poop.
It's food.
Food.
I don't know.
It's something, but you can get Angela's shirt. You can go down to our
Here.
Teespring link down in the description. Get you some swaggity swag if you want to. All right, let's get on to the questions because that's
Okay.
what we're about. Concise.
Yes.
First question. 761. Ryan and Angela, I need your musical expertise. I wrote a short fanfare on trombone, and I can't tell if it's in 4/4 or 3/4 time. I can play it around 65 BPM on the metronome in 4/4, but I can play it in 3/4 around 180 BPM. I play it the same way regardless. Which time signature is it in, and does it make a difference musically? Hashtag Gen X rocks. Well, 761, I cannot tell you what time signature it's in without seeing the sheet music or hearing you play it.
Right.
So I can't tell you. I mean, it's impossible for me to tell you which one it is. It could be either one. You might be holding a note, an eighth note or a quarter note longer than you think you're holding it, at the higher BPM. And it ultimately doesn't matter. Well, it matters if you're going to have other instruments play along, perhaps.
Right, but if it's just you riffing around.
Yeah. You can play 4/4 phrases in 3/4 time, and you're playing over the bar line, as they say. So you have a shifting kind of downbeat. So it kind of depends.
Right.
But if you could send me a video or a recording or the sheet music, if you wrote it out, write it out in notation. If you play the trombone, you probably read music, I would suspect. You can probably write it out. So
Yeah.
great question, but without a little bit more context, I can't really tell you. Does it matter? No, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. But yeah, send me a video or a link or something, and I can tell you. Playing with the metronome. That would be the thing. Play it with the metronome. And I can tell you if I can hear it.
Immediately.
If I can hear it, I can tell you.
Yes.
Thank you for the question. I'm super curious. I have some trombone playing students who take guitar lessons. I was horrible at the trombone.
Yeah, I don't know.
In
trombone.
college. I had to learn high brass, low brass, high winds, low winds.
It's like witchcraft to me.
Trombone, I could do trumpet, I could do...
It's the whole slide.
Yeah, slide. Anything with valves and keys.
It's
Anything with valves and keys I learned to become a band director.
impressive.
Trombone, I was
Trombone players impress me.
it's like playing a fretless bass,
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
Thanks for the question, man. Next question. Just fun guitar. Hashtag Gen X rocks. X marks the spot, son. Walk on home, boy. New question. Will you make RNA swaggity swag for the pets?
Ooh.
That's a great question.
Good idea.
Question, Chris.
Yes.
It has not occurred to me to do that.
Yeah.
I'd have to go look on our Teespring or Spring store.
Yeah.
They can make stuff in whatever you want.
I'm sure they have. With all the pet parents out there,
yeah.
I'm sure they have cute little outfits for the lovely,
I'm sure I can go look.
Four-leggedy cutie pies.
And probably design something on the Teespring store. And
that'd be fun.
The nice thing about Teespring is they don't fill an order until there is an order. Like, you don't have to order a batch of stuff and have it sitting on the shelf and hope somebody buys it.
Right.
You know, if somebody wants it, they buy it, they make it, they ship it. So I would suspect, though, based on the number of human swaggity swag products we sell, which is not a massive amount.
I know, but in their what is it called? Their Rolodex of of things that they offer to their clients that you can put your label on.
Put your logo on it.
Yeah, they offer quite a bit.
We should. We were trying to get our pets some sweaters for Christmas. We get like wintertime sweaters for our little frou-frou doggies.
Yeah.
And this last time we tried to go get some, or like, they didn't have, well, at Walmart.
Right.
That's where we get to shop locally, is Walmart for that kind of stuff.
Right.
There's not a pet store specifically in Canton. They didn't have much to choose from.
Yeah.
So maybe I'll look into it and see.
It sounds great, though.
If we can, I can. And then we'll get little Pepper and
little
RNA
beanie.
music.
Get her an RNA
Sweater.
music beanie and little socks.
That would be cute.
That would be.
Thank you, Chris. Next question. Fat philosopher. Gen X rocks. I was listening today to the Cult's 1985 hit, She Sells Sanctuary. That's hard to say. She sells sanctuary. Seashells. She sells?
She sells.
She sells things. I was wondering why our three metalheads from Yorkshire, England, and are singing about Texas sun. Do you think non-Texans should be allowed to sing about Texas? Hashtag, this is mine, not yours. I love that hashtag. This is mine, not yours.
That's awesome.
Should non-Texans be able to sing about Texas?
No, I'm just kidding. I don't care. Yeah, I think because a lot of people wish they were Texans, and if this is the only way they can,
were back in Texas.
If this is the only way they can get to Texas is by singing about it and daydreaming about it.
Wish I was back in Texas.
And
The ocean's no place for a squirrel.
I think that would be fine. I think it's fine. It's all about the respect of it all, you know.
Depends on what you're saying.
Right.
The ocean's no place for a squirrel.
I mean, even if it is negative about Texas, they might have somebody that they knew from Texas that misrepresented.
Somebody, that was a comment a while back, is all my exes live in Texas. Where do yours reside?
Yeah.
I don't know where any of my exes reside.
Yeah.
But
No idea.
sure. I don't care.
Yeah.
Why not?
No.
You should do what you want.
Exactly.
As long as you're not hurting anybody physically.
Yeah.
You can hurt their feelings if you want, but, you know, just don't physically.
As long as you don't sing about hurting Texans,
Yeah.
it should be fine.
Yeah, that's fine. You know, I don't even know what the lyrics are to that song.
I know.
I remember the song, and I remember that line, She
Yeah.
Sells Sanctuary, but I'm like, I could not tell you any of the other lyrics to that song. Now I'm going to have to go listen, Fat Philosopher.
Thank you for introducing us again to a song that we haven't heard more.
Yeah. You know, who likes Texas? Pat Green.
Yes.
Pat Green's got a bunch of songs about Texas,
Yes.
and I like him for that.
Yeah.
Thank you for the question, Fat. Ow, that hurt. I got my kneecap
Oh, yeah.
with my ringy ring.
And your ring, your ring, your ring.
Yeah. All right.
Sit up straight.
Sit up straight. Posture. Next question. Senator's Dwarf, how do you feel about the Obi-Wan Kenobi trailer?
Loved it.
Did you get the goosebumpies?
I did. It was like nostalgia. It was everything I hope it will be. I hope it's not a letdown.
Yeah. When I
Like a
saw
complete letdown.
when I saw the trailer for Force Awakens,
Uh-huh.
episode 7,
Okay.
I got the goosebumpies. I was like, the Millennium Falcon is on so
Yeah.
Ooh, I was so fired up for that. And then I saw the movie and I was like,
on our dreams. Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. Like, I hope that it lives up to the trailer and then not spread everything out and then add things or try to bring the today's wokeness to wokeismness to this and then change it to fit,
That would be horrible.
that would be horrible.
They probably will because it's
and
Disney.
Yes. And so, but other than that, what I did see, I was excited about.
Yeah, I was too. Pretty excited. I mean, Ewan McGregor is one of the shining bright spots of episode 1, 2, and 3.
Yes.
Like, I feel like he was an amazing Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Mm-hmm.
So freaking excited. I like that in the trailer. They didn't really show him do much other than like scowl and be like, oh man.
Mm-hmm. When he was peering at Luke and Luke was sitting on the entryway of the house or when Uncle Owen shows up in one of the scenes, I was like, oh my gosh, that's the original actor. That's Uncle Owen. Oh my gosh. Was he like a fighter? Was he like a part of the rebellion? That's a resistance.
That's interesting. I'm like, what's he going to do?
That's really cool. That would make sense, Anyways.
I like that they didn't show Obi-Wan Kenobi doing much action or fighting or any of that kind of stuff at all.
Right.
They didn't show any of that. So I'm thinking, surely he's going to come out and be friggin' awesome. Mm-hmm. You're like, you're waiting for it. Then he is friggin' awesome.
Right. I was telling Nicholas that since we know Obi-Wan, other than being in the Force and no telling what you can see in the Force when he was Force Ghost, coast to coast, whenever he
was Space Ghost.
When he was Space
Ghost Obi-Wan.
He knew where Yoda lived because he arrived there to talk to Luke.
He showed up
his
in
sister,
Dagobah as a ghosty ghost.
So I'm hoping that they hint to him. He's like, I gotta go consult someone wiser than me, and like introduce Yoda, like during that time because it was young Yoda.
Yeah,
younger.
I was hoping Force Ghost Qui-Gon Jinn shows up.
Yes,
that would be sick.
Like those two things need to happen. They should happen. But if they don't, I'm sure it'll be spectacular.
I hope it's good. I hope they learned their lesson because that's you talking.
Yeah.
That's me talking.
Yeah.
I hope they learned their lesson that The Mandalorian was freaking awesome.
Yes, it was.
And then Boba Fett was like, we had high expectations. And it was like,
some of it was good.
That's not the best episodes of Boba Fett.
Some of it was just like,
had The Mandalorian in it.
Yeah.
And I was like, wait a minute. You got us hyped for Boba Fett because he was super rad. And there's a couple of episodes of Mandalorian. He was just wrecking people.
Right.
And then he was kind of like not doing that in his own show.
Right. It was more like politics.
It was like,
more about him setting up the whole regime and stuff.
So I hope
the scenes with the sand people were pretty cool though.
I hope they consider, fan service. Mm-hmm. If you want to make a gazillion dollars, make the fans happy.
Yep.
If you don't want a gazillion dollars, try to be woke.
Yes.
Maybe.
Concise.
All right.
Okay.
Dang it, Sinner's Dwarf. I'm most excited about the Star Wars question. All right, next question.
Right?
Big John, hashtag GenX hashtag shut up, hashtag that's right, hashtag never too late for tacos.
That's right.
And you're right, Angela, X marks the spot. Okay, if you guys were to relocate to another part of Texas, what town would it be? Ooh. Have we had this question before?
I think we have, but it's been a while.
I can't remember.
It's been a while, and I think in my mind, I said San Antonio, but that was pre-pandemic.
Ooh. Right.
So everything else, I would stay put. I don't think I would ever relocate because the parts of Texas that are has the most stuff, maybe Big Bend. In that Big Bend, near Big Bend National Park.
It's hot down there, though.
I know it is. And that's the only thing is that we have the balanced ecosystem of Texas where there's woods. It's hot, but it's not too hot. It gets cold.
Sometimes we get snow.
Sometimes we get snow.
Ice.
Sometimes we get, You
were looking at the weather this morning.
Yes.
And what was the temperature here?
Here was 48 degrees.
This morning. And what was it in Laredo?
Laredo was 64 degrees. And so that's a
significant difference in.
Yeah, and it was going to be the high today. I think was going to be like in the 60s, and then the high down there was going to be almost 90. So there's not, and then with all the political stuff, I'd stay put. Maybe a smaller town than what we have here.
Even smaller.
I would go. I know. I'm serious. I would go even smaller, so I'd know.
Where my mom moved
I would
to.
know more people, and you can have a closer knit community. You know where everybody is. You can prepare together. You can grow gardens together. Like, it would be more like a small community. I think the bigger the town, the higher the risk of,
communism,
introducing, things that can disrupt. If we learn anything from The Walking Dead, we learn that is the truth. The bigger the community, the more
people, more problems.
Yes, the more destruction can happen.
Mo people, mo problems.
So that's where I would move to a smaller town in this area.
We're gonna get a cabin in the woods, Big John.
Yes,
that's what's up.
That's
what's
population
happening.
300, maybe one general store we can buy milk and bread.
We're moving to the boonies. That's where we're going.
Yeah. Yep.
Thanks for the question.
What about you?
Yeah, I agree.
Mm-hmm.
I could not think of
not a single.
I couldn't think of a town like, let's go live there. I used to think Rockwall. It's kind of there's too many people.
Yeah, and again, all the places that have kind of failed me, the way I think of them through the test of the pandemic, I was like, I see how you treated your people. Nah.
Small towns are like, they're like, you have to wear a mask to come in this store and buy groceries, even though masks don't work. All the small towns, it was like, F off. Yeah. I'm just here for milk.
Right.
And in the big cities, like if you went to Target and you didn't have a cloth mask on, which by the way, cloth masks don't do anything. They were like,
they would hunt you down.
It was like, stop you.
It
was insane.
Berate you.
The difference in
just 30 miles
intensity of people's reactions if you were doing something that were like, I'm like,
it's ridiculous.
Oh, y'all live in
literally just going 45 minutes west of us, northwest of us, went from we were free men to apocalyptic. You felt like you were in a like Scorsese film /
I think it's the difference between city folk and country folk,
and that's the big thing.
It's like you've clearly not fought enough bears out in the woods on your hike.
There's too many soft people in
coyotes.
The city, and I'd rather be with the seasoned hard folk than with the soft baby hand people.
I have baby hands.
Hashtag.
Except for my calluses and scars.
I do not. When I go get manicures, they look at me like, what you do? Like, what did you do to you? Like, I know I have man hands. Because I work with my hands. I work with my hands all the time. Yeah.
I agree with the question, Big John. Yeah, I want to move out in the woods. Like, more acres, less people.
Mm-hmm.
More guns. All right. Thank you, Big John. It's time for comment of the day. Comment of the day. Comment of the day. All right. It's comment of the day time. This is where we write a song on the spot from you guys' and girls' and circles comments.
Ladies.
All the ladies. Blackjack.
Yes.
Blackjack, the solo.
And
lady.
There's a couple of wives in there that listen to.
That's right. All right, I'm going to play something on the guitar. Angela's going to sing something. Much to Fat Philosopher's chagrin.
Yes.
He wanted Angela to play this time and me to sing. Not today. Not today. We're not going to do that. Unless you want to play something.
No, I'm good.
Okay.
Right now, I mean, I'll have to think it's...
right. You have to like, what chord is I want to play? We're playing to our strengths, Fat Philosopher.
Exactly.
I do sing.
Yes, he does.
Sing every week at church.
I think
backup vocals.
I think we should do that. And we will. Yes, when he's ready.
Okay. Anyway, so we're gonna do that right now.
Mm-hmm.
No rehearsing. No.
No, I'm sitting here looking at the question.
Okay. What is the? All right, there it is.
Okay.
Okay. Okay.
Okay. Got to stay
consistent, concise. All right.
Yes.
Because I keep changing up in the middle of playing.
And it throws me off.
Okay, I'm gonna keep it steady.
Okay, here we go. Rolling 67. Hashtag Jen Rocks. Hashtag walk on boy. It's too late. It's too late. Too late. Too late. Hashtag KTM.
Nice. And if you're curious, that was what was it? D minor 7,
Yes.
A minor 7, G minor 7. And you too can play hashtag Never Too Late for Tacos.
That's right.
That's a great song.
There you go.
Excellent work, Ronan67. I feel like he really wrote that because he's got the, what are those called, ellipses?
Yes.
Dot, 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 dot. I do that in my typing all the time.
I do.
I
I dot, dot, dot all the time.
It's like, there's a pause here.
I want you
wait
to
for it.
read how I'm speaking to you. Like, Paul sent me this dorky, like,
Shocking.
nerdy Christian, like, blurb about Jesus and bread and water and wine or something.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, parentheses, 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 cough, dot, 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 dork, parentheses, parentheses. So that's because that's how it would. Dork. Yeah.
Paul's a dork? What
Yeah.
do you mean? He's hard.
He's my dork.
He's a hardcore punk anarchist. Punk rock star of ultimate punkness.
Yeah.
Those aren't dorks.
He's a special breed.
Yeah. Thank you, Ronan67. I could tell from the way it was written. I was like, that's the song.
Yeah.
That's the song for this week. And I loved the lyrical content of Tacos.
Yeah. I mean,
That's Ronan. He's like,
it hit my heart. Like,
yeah, that's a song about Texas
that's
right
like
there.
right there.
There's a song about Texas. It's never too late for tacos.
In the heart.
Deep in the heart. Thank you, Ronan67. Next question. Jack the Rabbit, thanks for humoring me with my question from last week. I feel you about the lead sheets. It's always a toss-up if they're correct or not, and many times I end up figuring out by ear because it's just faster. Did that this week. Question for next time. If I were a kid living in today's musical landscape, I doubt I would be interested in music in the same way I was when I was young. Do you ever feel this way? Do you ever wonder what life would be like if all you knew was how to program beats and use pre-selected chords given to you by the software? Hashtag Gen X rocks.
Right.
That's a good question, Jack the Rabbit. Now, I don't know. Like we said last week, we have a significant amount of our students that come in interested in music, learning
Like actual, older songs
Barracuda
like,
and
from 30, 40 years ago.
Led Zeppelin and, yeah, I don't know. I feel like there's enough. I don't feel like there's maybe less kids today interested in music than there was when we were kids.
Yeah, but would you be interested in music the way the kids are interested in music now? I mean, now would you be interested in how you were then now?
Probably.
With the music in I think because there is the music from when we grew up. It'd be different if no one had ever heard of Metallica or AC/DC or Led Zeppelin. Like if it was just like this gone genre, if I, in a conversation, if I mention Lena Horne and I say, I love Lena Horne, 95% of people would be like, who's that? Because it was so long ago. It's
that was a while back.
30s that people, it's almost like that's like the scat jazz singers, vaudevillians and stuff like that is gone away. Most people have no idea that even exists at all. So if rock from the 60s to the 80s was, if we were that far removed from
30 years from now.
Yeah.
30 years from now.
Maybe, but I think because no one is making that type of music, and that type of music fits so many things like car commercials and workouts and it's so appropriate for like heavy things. Like whenever people want to express a certain thing, the only way you can express it is with a heavy guitar riff. You can't do it with a synthesized thing and get the same kind of effect.
Yeah.
So I think children will still, I think you would, if you were a kid today, you would still be intrigued by this music and still have that same kind of passion for music.
I think the difference too is like there's enough like our age, Gen Xers, like our kids are exposed to our music.
Right.
So like my kids grew up, they know who Metallica is. They know. Right. I mean, Nicholas, he's 21, but he's like, there's a lot of bands like even Paul be like, oh, do you know who Seether is or something? Paul's like, Nicholas like,
I have no idea.
No. He's like, Ryan.
Like, I don't even think he would know who, like, Anthrax was. Or
yeah, and he's like, Alice in Chains. He doesn't know Alice in Chains. Well, no, I don't. I mean, but he knows who Metallica is.
Right. He knows who Pantera, Black Sabbath,
he knows
Led
Zeppelin. He knows, like...
Jimi Hendrix. He knows who they are.
And he likes a lot of that music. Aiden's not really into that, but that's... No,
he doesn't like metal-type music.
But he knows, he's aware of it.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
I think, like, I do not know what my parents listen. My parents didn't really... Like, let me put on the record. And
yeah, my parents did, though.
Mine didn't, so I kind of had to figure out my own thing. And my older sister's music, I heard their stuff, but it took me a while to figure out that I like rock stuff. When it finally, I mean, I like pop stuff. I like Michael Jackson and whatever the general, the Police and just pop radio stuff.
Right.
But I think there's a lot of our age who like are kiddos, and I think that's a lot of our kids that come in like, hey, my dad loves this song and I heard it. I like it a lot. Can you teach it to? It's called Stairway to Heaven. Like
honestly, going back to that, when you were saying like your parents never exposed, like I didn't know who Ozzy Osbourne was until I was in junior high. Like I didn't know who Black Sabbath was. My mom listened to it, but whenever she became a Christian, she cut that stuff out of her life.
No, like, Black Sabbath.
It was like hurt, huh? And literally the first time I ever heard Stairway was I was probably like 10, 11 years old, and there was a commercial. You remember those commercials that would come on? All the 70s rock music of today, compiled on blah, blah, blah. And they would go through all these, and everyone on down the road. And they would switch to the next. And that is the only section. And I would sing that over because I loved just that part.
Just that lick.
And I would just be playing with my Barbies just in my room, just singing that one part in my room. Because I had no idea that I was singing Stairway to Heaven. And my mom was like, what are you singing? And I was like, I don't know. It's on that commercial. It's really cool. I like the way it sounds. She was like, you have no idea what you're singing. Like, she thought it was funny. Because
she should have played you the song.
Because she was like, it's the most popular song in like music history, basically.
It's the #1 rock song of all time.
But I didn't even know who Led Zeppelin was until I was almost an adult. Like I really didn't, because my parents didn't expose me to that. I listened to Motown. I could tell you who the Four Tops were. I could tell you who the Temptations were. I could tell you the Gladys Knight and the Pips and Diana Ross and everybody like that. But I could not tell you rock music at all.
And my dad, kind of the age he was not that 70s rock stuff. It was like 50s and 60s.
Oh yeah, because he was a grown man.
Yeah, it was like
my dad too.
For my dad, it was like, you know, Elvis and that kind of stuff.
Yeah, because my dad was 30 when I was born in 78. So by the
my dad was 33 when I was born in 75.
Yeah, so they were like grown men when all that stuff
they were
hitting.
15.
It was
like 1955. Yeah.
Mr. Sandman.
Literally like 1956 is when my dad was like 15, 16. And that's you kind of figure out what music you like, and that sort of 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. That's sort of the age you figure out, I like this.
Yeah.
It's that guy swinging his hips on the TV.
Now my dad loved Johnny Cash. My dad loved old country. Like I grew up on Hank Williams. Oh, whenever Hee Haw came out, that was our
Your dad is a fascinating black man.
He is a very well-rounded black man. He is, and he raised us to be very well-rounded. That's why we're not, raging racist, because, the hate are part of myself type thing. Because he loved everybody and everything, and he appreciated all types of music, even heavy metal. Like he appreciates the talent behind it, and that's how I was raised. So I can listen to his music and not necessarily like it, but I can appreciate it because I can see the amount of talent it takes to play.
But you do like As a Wine on Down the Road.
Oh yeah, I love me some Led Zeppelin. Like that hit my soul.
We like that. We can listen to Led Zeppelin together and be like,
yeah, like a whole 12-hour road trip to Alabama. We're just flipping that.
Put it on Zeppelin, let it go. They got 7,000 songs. There's songs I still haven't even heard. I put it on like, what's this?
I was like, oh, I like this.
Have I not heard this? How many songs does Led Zeppelin have?
Yeah. So I think that you would be, if you were a kid today, because our music is still around. Our music is prevalent in movies and commercials and TV. You would be like, what is that? If you're inclined to that now, then you would be inclined to it now.
I think so. I agree.
Yeah.
Great question, Jack the Rabbit. I really enjoyed that one. Final question. Jim Woodard. Question starts at question marks. Oh, he's talking about Gen X started in 65. Yeah, I was born at the end of the baby boom, 64. Ooh. So Jim.
I always think of Blues Clues when you go.
Jim's not technically Gen X because he was born in '64.
Okay.
He missed it by a hot second.
That's all right.
That's okay. But his wife is Gen X. All right. Hashtag Gen X rocks. I was just lucky I got to see the first moon landing in the first episode of Scooby-Doo. So here's my question. What was the most significant song or album of your childhood that you listened to and then listen to now and it still doesn't feel old? Ooh. For me, it was definitely Pink Floyd, The Wall.
Ooh, yeah.
Hashtag walk on home, boy.
Ooh, goodness. An album. You go first.
Most significant song or album of your childhood that you listen to and then listen to now, it still doesn't feel old. I'm going to have to say probably One by Metallica.
I was going to say
Metallica. Well, that was, I didn't really get into Metallica until like maybe a year and a half later. But I saw the music video on MTV for One. I was at home all alone for some reason. I don't know where everybody was. That was so nice. All my sisters were gone. My parents were gone. Just me and the dogs sitting chilling at the house.
I made my family disappear.
I made them go away. It was amazing. And it was like, I don't know, because it was late too. It was like 9 o'clock or something. I don't know. I was like, watched that whole video, and I'd seen that, at Walmart they have the records, the albums like Metallica. That's that devil. That's that devil music. We're not supposed to listen to that. There's that Judas Priest who can't. I'm like, I didn't know anything really about metal. The only thing I knew was like Bon Jovi,
right?
Warrant,
Living on a
Rat,
prayer.
Motley Crue. That's not metal.
No.
I didn't know what real metal was, and then it was like, what is this? And I watched that video, and I was like, I feel funny on the inside. I was like, it was a little not traumatizing.
You were desensitized.
I was like,
it was a layer of your desensitization.
Yeah, I was like, my innocence was lost.
Yeah.
I was like, this isn't singing about girls and trucks and hairspray. This is, oh my God. I'm like, oh, that guitar solo. I'm like, what is this? It was just like, it's black and white, and I'm like,
yeah, I know.
I don't know how I feel about that. It was like, and then it was like a year and a half later or something like that when the Black Album came out. So this must have been like 89. 89-ish, I think, is when I saw that. I was like, I don't know. But it was like, there was a significant shift in like what I perceived as the music I liked. I already liked Guns N' Roses. That was a little bit heavy. Guns N' Roses was a little bit heavier and grittier than like Bon Jovi, and Aerosmith, It was already trending to that little more gritty rock stuff. And then it was like, that was a whole nother level. And then when their Black Album came out, I was like, wow, oh yeah, that's the band that was it. Oh yeah. Like, wow, this is not as intense. But I still listen to it to this day. I can put on one and listen to it. I'm like, that's rad. That's an awesome song. Man. There's a couple of versions on YouTube I watched lately. There's this guy, big O dude, needs to do some cardio. I'm concerned about his cardiovascular health. I'm really worried about him. But he is a freaking beast bass player. And he's just like, and he plays the entire And Justice for All album along with it with the bass. And I was like, I listened to almost the whole album because I was like, that's what it sounds like with bass. It's awesome. But I'm like, it doesn't feel old. Like, I still love that. So that's probably mine, I have to say. How about yours? Same thing. You won, right?
Yes. Same exact. No.
I knew it.
Thriller.
We had that record.
Yep. Yeah. I have it now.
Everybody had that record.
I have it now. Yeah. I bought it. As soon as I saw it, I snatched it because we had the cassette. When the cassette came out, we didn't get the record. Our neighbor had the record and she let us listen to it. So my parents were like, why should we buy it? When you go over to Miss Neisler's house, that's her name, Neisler. Miss Neisler's house, and we sit and dance in her living room while she watched Charles Bronson movies, and we danced to Thriller.
Just like Murder and Thriller.
Yeah, because she had a crush on Charles Bronson. Weird, like the ugliest man in movies cinematic.
He was no Dirty Harry.
Oh,
he's
good
no Clint
God.
Eastwood.
Anyways, so. But to this day, I can put on Thriller, and as soon as that bong comes on, and then that beat drops, oh man, yeah,
it's close to midnight.
Yes, it's just I can listen to the whole entire album.
We wore that. I wore that album out as a kid.
I loved it. It's a great put together album. I mean, all of the love songs on it, everything. TLC.
That was a significant one for me too. Because I remember as a kid sitting on the floor in the living room in our house in the country with headphones, big old clunky headphones plugged into
like you're talking to truckers.
Yeah, and just like listening to that entire again, before I discovered rock and roll, it was like I learned, it was like that.
Yeah.
I don't listen to it now.
Yeah,
but it was
but I can.
Yeah.
Yeah. That album changed me. I was probably, I don't even know. I think it came out in 83 or 84. So I was like 6 years old.
I was 15
when it came out. Let's see. I want to Google that. Say what year did the Thriller album?
I listened to that one a lot. It was a go-to album for at least a year when I was a kid.
82. So I was 4 when the Thriller album came out, because it was like November. I was 4.5 years old.
If someone would have introduced me to Kill 'Em All by Metallica in 1982.
Awards: the Britain bestseller album, Grammy Award for Album of the Year, and Grammy Hall of Fame, and a whole lot more.
Yeah, how many albums? How many sales does it tell you?
Yeah, it does.
It's like one of the best-selling records of all time ever. 70 million copies. It is the second best-selling album in the United States and was certified 30 times platinum. What's the best-selling? That's interesting.
Yeah.
70 million copies.
Yeah.
That's a couple of copies.
That's a few families that have the Thriller album. But that right there, that led to Bad and just Man in the Mirror. Like, it went straight. Like, I had every single Michael Jackson, like everything. I watched the movie. Remember the movie that came out about Thriller, but Smooth Criminal. Like all of it, like Michael Jackson all the time.
What was it called? I forgot what it was called.
Yeah, Moonwalker.
That's what I thought it was called.
But yeah, so Thriller would be mine. Song and album.
There you go. Metallica and Michael Jackson.
There you go. I mean,
that's kind of
that
us.
is literally like the 80s.
It's kind of like us. It's the perfect explanation for Angela.
And I love the cover of it. It was so funny. Him lounging with his Jerry curl and had the Thriller in there.
His little suit.
Yep. In his little sweet little suit.
Sweet little suit. All right, there you go. Thank you, Jim. That was ours. What is your guys and girls? Tell us down below what your pivotal album as a child or a young person that you listen to, that you still listen to, and it doesn't seem old at all. Tell us down below. I'd love to read that comment from you guys. All right, and that is the final question for this week. Thank you guys so much. If you have a question for next week, please leave it down below. If you have a comment that you think would make it as a good line for comment of the day, feel free to put that down. We'll peruse. Ronan67 understood the assignment perfectly. So thank you. All right, now it's time for our secret hashtag of the day. If you watch this entire video all the way through, that helps the runtime, the algorithm, all that good stuff. Secret hashtag of the day. Type that with your comment or question down below, or by itself, and we will know, and everybody else who's an insider and knows what's up will know. You watch the whole thing.
Yes.
You will achieve legend status. And the secret hashtag of the day is hashtag
soft baby hands. I don't know.
That's fine. Soft baby hands.
Yeah.
Which is not what Angela has.
Not even close. You can hear mine.
Yeah. I've seen people with more calluses than me, but I've also seen less.
Yeah.
So, hashtag soft baby hands. And we'll know you watched this entire video. Thank you guys so much. We'll see you in the next one. Until then, keep the music alive.
Don't forget it.
The music needs you.
And you need the music.
And we need to keep it alive in the next generation, or they will only learn to love synth music.
God almighty.
We cannot have that.
Have that happen.
We cannot have that. You gotta keep real music alive.
Yes. Isn't that funny when we thought that like Max Headroom would be like the future?
The future.
The future.
Everything's chrome in the future.
Max Headroom.
Why is everything chrome?
Everything is chrome in the future.
Yeah, we have flying cars and flying skateboards.
Oh my gosh.
No, instead we have end of the world.
High gas prices.
Yeah, now it's inflation.
Yes.
Good gosh. Amazing. The future is amazing.
It's so great. So exciting.
Future.